if you are in the market for a mechanical keyboard, then you will know that there's actually an option for you to build your own custom mechanical keyboard that suits your personal needs. But the overwhelming amount of information might be just a little bit too much for newcomers into the custom mechanical keyboard scene. So what we have today is something special. This is from 1stplayer. It's a custom mechanical keyboard DIY kit that you can buy for a very low price and then build it from the case to the switches and to the keycaps on your own. So let's take a look at this whole kit itself. So this keyboard kit comes in total of 3 different parts. So this one box here, it's called the 1stplayer Unique with a Uni-Q. This is actually the mechanical keyboard's case. It is currently in TKL form factor, and then we have a box of switches here. The one that we got here is the Gateron yellow switches. So in this box, there are a total of 90 Gateron yellow key switches, and I'll leave this here. And then as for the keycaps, it's I would say it's kind of a weird choice because this is a half height keycap, but it's double shot PBT, so it's gonna be good. And yeah, we'll just leave this aside now. Let's just take a look at the keyboard case first. Okay, so I don't really want to talk much about what's on the box itself. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just have a few key highlight points at the bottom of this front part printing, and then at the back here it shows that there's an option for you to choose between the white and black keyboard case. So opening up, I think the amount of things that you're gonna get is pretty standard. Obviously, keyboard case itself, and let's just get it out. Oh, okay. So there are actually more things already pre-built to this keyboard case. For example, SMD RGB LEDs are already soldered to the PCB itself, and also all of the stabilizers are already pre-installed for you. So all you need to do is just pop in the mechanical key switches and also the keycaps. Yeah, then you're good to go. And then we should take a look at this user manual. Yes, user manual, there's the RGB LED control instructions here. You can also download the 1stplayer software or the app, which I will go through later as well. So at the back here, you have even more instructions, which I'm not gonna touch in this part of the video. And in the box, what we have here is a nicely braided USB Type A to Type C cable. Also in white color, by the way, nice touch. And then a wire keycap puller. Thank you for including this because I was afraid that this is the only one that we're gonna get. And then we also got a key switch puller. Okay, so this is a necessary inclusion since we can technically hot swap switches on this 1stplayer Unique keyboard. So this Gateron key switch is pretty standard. I mean, yeah, a pack of them, 90, and that's all we get. And also the keycaps, which I will show you again later in some B-roll footages. Okay, so before we start building this mechanical keyboard, I think you guys have a lot of questions like, can we buy the parts separately? How much does it cost? All of those stuff. I asked 1stplayer about all of these questions, so let's go through some of them right now. So number one, how is this final product gonna be shipped? Well, the answer is technically just like what you saw just now. All 3 of those items will be bundled into one parcel and sent to you. That's what you're gonna get. So second question, how much does this kit cost? All these 3 items is gonna cost you 265 ringgit, which is really low for a DIY mechanical keyboard. And also, can you buy all of the parts separately? Yes, you can. So this case here is gonna cost you 179 ringgit for the 1stplayer Unique keyboard case, and then keycaps, it's gonna cost you 75 ringgit, and then for the key switches themselves, for 90 pieces, it's gonna cost you 79 ringgit. Are more choices gonna be added soon? yes, they're gonna add Gateron Pro key switch options soon. And then the logical question that I have is, what kind of key switches is compatible with the 1stplayer Unique? Well, the answer is, so far, 1stplayer have tested between Cherry, Otemu, Kale, Gateron, and TTC switches. They are all compatible with this keyboard case, which is nice. And all of the other questions that we asked were left unanswered. I think it's a bit too digging too deep, I would say, but I can feel like 1stplayer is going to bring in even more variety in terms of keyboard form factors and also maybe wireless versions. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's gonna come soon. And then 1stplayer also mentioned that there's also the 1stplayer DK5 version 2, which is a much cheaper keyboard at only 165 ringgit. That keyboard is also fully hot swappable, but it is only compatible between Otemu and Huano key switches. So, with all of those said, let's proceed with the whole building process.
To 6 days later.
Okay, so the keyboard has been fully assembled and I've been using it for quite some time right now. And here are my thoughts about this entire keyboard kit itself, from the case to the key switches and also to the keycaps. So let's start off with the keyboard case first. As you know, I chose the white color variant of the 1stplayer Unique case. It's also available in black if you want that. But overall, I would say this case is very serviceable for a kit. It is actually of very high quality. The fully assembled keyboard here has quite a lot of heft to it. The rubber feet here is very nicely covered in this large piece of high friction pad, something like that, and it wouldn't slip if I'm also using it at a high angle. So yeah, that's good. And also the cable routing here is very good. As I've shown earlier, if you're gonna buy the white color version of the 1stplayer Unique keyboard case, then I also got this white colored, or actually silver colored cable as well. And this keyboard case allows you to route the cable directly through the back here or through the left or right side of the keyboard. So cable management is not gonna be an issue. While this keyboard claims to be able to hot swap between multiple different key switches, for example, Cherry, Kale, TTC, and all of those, I don't have any spare switches lying around, so yeah, we'll just use the Gateron switch that is already included with the kit. And speaking of the Gateron switches, as you know, I chose the Gateron yellow key switches, and since this pack has a total of 90 key switches, we have extra 3 here. As you know, TKL is only 87 key switches. And yeah, this tree is gonna be spare in case any of the key switches fail or I accidentally bend them during installation process. And speaking of the installation process, this is actually my first time using this kind of hot swappable keyboard kits. At first, I didn't know how to plug in the keyboard switch, but then over time, I start to develop a technique where I just align the 2 pins at the bottom there, and then it starts to snag on the connection pins a little bit, and then the whole switch can be just pushed down in unison. That is the safest way that I can describe it to you, but this is something that you will have to get a feel for yourself when you are assembling this keyboard. And also, please be mindful of not pushing the pins in too hard because it will definitely bend them if it is not aligned properly. So what I recommend you to do is to check the mechanical switches pins to be perfectly straight before attempting to plug it into the keyboard's PCB. And in the future, if you ever want to change the keyboard switch, do remember that the first player unique keyboard case does come with a key switch puller, which you will have to align these two little pegs here with the two hooks at the top and bottom part of the mechanical key switch, and then press it in and the whole key switch can be pulled out. Again, pulling it out in unison is the safest way to go because you don't want to bend the mechanical key switch pins. And as for the keycaps, first player actually has a total of 5 different variants for you to choose from, and they're all within the KC1 keycap family, so you can choose between black pudding, white pudding, pink white keycaps, and also grey-black color scheme, which is the one that I got. To be honest, the greyness and blackness is a bit too similar. I would like a bit more contrast between them, but hey, I'm not complaining since it still looks very clean and very good overall. And one thing is for sure though, the half-height keycap is a bit weird to me at first, but after assembling the entire keyboard, I don't think that's an issue at all. I mean, half height does allow the RGB to shine a lot brighter since the keycaps wouldn't obscure the lights. And yeah, overall it looks really clean and really good. The keycap Legends though, it still has a bit of the gamer look to it, but yeah, not really a big deal because I don't even look at a keyboard while I type, so it's okay. As for the keycap quality, this is a PBT double shot keycap, to which the second material is injected into the first material in not such a clean manner, I would say, but then again everything is hidden under the keycap so you wouldn't realize it at all. And as for the texture of this keycap, I would say it's really good because it's slightly grainy, and I do like my keycaps slightly grainy because it doesn't stick to my finger while I'm typing and it starts to get a bit sweaty, if you get what I mean. And speaking of typing, here's a quick comparison between this keyboard kit right here against my usual Leopold FC750 RPD with Cherry MX silent rate switches. Alright, now it's time for the RGB lighting. As you know, this keyboard is RGB backlit and all of the SMD RGB LEDs are already pre-soldered onto the PCB of the first player unique keyboard. Yeah, it's just one pack. It's all included for you. And there's also a software that you can download from first player's website. So let's head on to first player's website here. Click support. Download center, unique, modular mechanical keyboard, click on that. It's downloading. Pretty small file size, and we should let it download first. And this user manual here also allows you to tune some of the lighting effects using just the keyboard itself, and it also has a row of multimedia keys that you can refer inside here. I mean, it's not printed on this set of keycaps, so you will have to either memorize them or refer back to the user manual. Okay, so now it's fully downloaded. Let's just extract and then let us install and see how things go.
Later.
Now, the first thing I'll do after installing this kind of software is to check if there's any firmware updates. So let's hit at the top right corner here, check firmware. Oh, no update for devices. Okay, that's good. And then this is the device that we have. It's only one anyway. Okay, if WinLock is on, disable Windows. Oh, okay. Through this software, you can select it to disable Alt F4, Shift 1, not too sure what Shift 1 is, or Alt TA, which is Alt Tab. Not too sure what's happening here, but it's just say Alt TA. And then what else can we do here? Oh, this is interesting because every single key on the keyboard is technically customizable to whichever button that you want. You can remap them to become mouse click, key combination, a macro, or maybe just to, you know, when you press R, then it becomes P, something like that, whatever. So it's up to your creativity on how you want this to be. And then on this tab here is all the lighting modes available. So you have a total of 12 different lighting modes as far as I can remember. That's what written on the box. And here you have a lot more control. For example, let's just go into musical rhythm. I don't remember seeing this on the keyboard's lighting mode while cycling through. Like synchronize. I'll just play some not so copyrighted music. And obviously it works. So what it does here is to transpose all of the audio that's coming out of this laptop to be an equalizer shown on the keyboard's lighting effect. It's not really that new, but it's cool to see here because all of the lower frequencies will be on the left side of the keyboard. All of the higher frequencies will be on the right side of the keyboard instead. And let's just go back to the software and see what's up. Custom. Wow, okay, individually backlighting support. How's the software? Okay, I can select multiple keys at once. That's a huge boon, by the way, because a lot of those software, they don't allow you to do this kind of overall clicking, which is a problem. So let's quickly run through them. So you got static, neon, breathe, wave, twinkle, snake, radar, aurora. Not too sure what aurora is. Okay. And then we also have ripple. So every key that you press will send an RGB ripple throughout the entire keyboard. And then we also have reactive, which is a per key color cycling mode. And then there's also cross, which is pretty self-explanatory. Speed response. Okay, depending on how fast you type, then the colors will go up and up and up on the keyboard. Musical rhythm, which is what we shown earlier, and custom. That's it. So in terms of software, I would say it's really standard, and it kind of offers a lot of intuitive controls on this software here, which is highly appreciated compared with many other keyboard software that we tried in the past. So overall, what do I think about this keyboard kit in particular? Firstly, the price. For the price of just 265 ringgit, I think this is a steal because you can technically just buy this keyboard, use it first, because this is already a really high quality keyboard on a budget, I would say. You just need to assemble it yourself, which took me like half an hour or so. Yeah, half an hour to an hour. I just listened to some podcasts and then everything got assembled. And then I can immediately start using this keyboard and it felt great. It just felt amazing. I didn't expect it to be this good. And then if you ever want to, let's just say, change the keyboard switch in the future, because maybe you want to try something new or you grew tired of Gateron yellows, for example, then just buy a bunch of switch and hot swap them. That's what you can do with this keyboard kit. And as of now, the 1stplayer Unique is only available in both black and white colors, which I think is good enough. But if you ever want more colors or even more form factors, because the Unique is only available in PKL form factor as of now, do keep a lookout at 1stplayer's Facebook page. Maybe in the future they'll announce, hey, we're bringing in even more form factors, maybe wireless, maybe even 60%, I don't know. We'll have to keep a lookout on that, but as of now we still haven't heard any news about other form factors. And then the keycaps, I would say they are okay. I mean, I've been using the Leopold FC750 RPD for so long. That is technically, for me, it's the end game of pre-built keyboards. It's the best out there. But again, this is a custom keyboard kit, I would say, so you can technically mix and match to create your own personalized endgame keyboard. And yeah, for 265 ringgit, it's a very good deal. So if you have any questions, which I'm sure that you have, do leave them down in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer them, and we'll see you guys in the next video.